and just a little fire plug.
Yeah, and a long rivalry there between Chamberlain and Molinaro. They've been scrapping since Chamberlain was at Boise State. He was at Penn State collegiately, and it's pretty much always been Molinaro winning, albeit close matches. Chamberlain got it done. Super solid out of Fresno. Now, one thing that's maybe not known is that Molinaro was coming off an injury. He'd been off the mat leading up to the U.S. Open, potentially impacted his performance there. So I'm curious to see if that impacts this finals and if maybe he's wrestling a little higher level and the scales will tip back in his favor.
We're definitely going to get to find out. 74 kilos for the right, or whatever you want to call it. The winner has to face Jordan Burroughs in Final X. Nazar Kolchiski, a late comeback over Tommy Gant, as we see right there in the semifinals. He'll be taking on Isaiah Martinez, who sat all day yesterday. And I guess that's the thing, too, we didn't really talk about. Does sitting help? Does it hurt? Does it matter at all? I'm not sure.
Come on. It absolutely helps. You don't, listen, by definition, you don't have to wrestle people that could conceivably beat you.
But it's over, I'm saying, today.
Yeah, for that point. But, he didn't have to worry about Nazar or Tommy Gant yesterday. He gets to sit out and let that fracas occur. So it's undeniably an advantage, in my opinion. And, but if he wins or loses, I don't think it will be because he sat out or didn't sit out, but I think it's unquestionably helpful for Imar to have sat out, and I think he's the favorite here, even though Nazar is super skilled.
And maybe the one everybody's pointing to really wants to see at 79 kilograms. Alex Deringer is Zahid Valencia. Valencia, just a sophomore, won an NCAA title over Mark Hall back in March. And Alex Deringer really coming along this season, won the Ukrainian International, was the OW of Bill Farrell, and then closed that gap with Kyle Dake at the U.S. Open, 5-5. Got 2 takedowns. Dake did Dake things and won the match, but Alex Deringer had obviously closed that gap, and he's made adjustments, and he's right there with Dake. But, man, Zahid Valencia, a stud, hard to score on.
Yeah.
He's been at the top of the game since he was a little kid. Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, well, I'm curious, how can Zahid hold up against the power and positioning of Deringer? Deringer's so powerful. He's a kind of force of will, gets to his ties really consistently, move guys around, really dictates the match. If he can't dictate, Zahid's got a shot. But I think conventional wisdom suggests that Deringer's going to be able to move Valencia around. Now, it's worth noting, Zahid's, he's a junior world silver medalist, okay? But also, we've seen him wrestle against like the likes of David Taylor internationally, as well as at Midlands, and he's been able to wrestle with someone of that caliber, at least for a little while.
Yeah.
So part of me, I kind of go back and forth on this one. Part of me is like, man, I think Deringer's going to blow him out. And the other part of me thinks, hey, Valencia's got a real shot here, and he can contend. He's got amazing leg attacks, amazing setups. I think he's got a great shot.
Zahid Valencia's last 3 losses, all to world champions.
Yeah.
So that's over the last 2 or 3 years. He doesn't lose much. 86 kilos, we're going to see Richard Perry and Nick Reenan with a right to wrestle David Taylor at Final X. How about State College?
How about Nick Reenan in a red shirt? Makes his way to the Challenge Tournament Finals for NC State. And Richard Perry kind of been the number 2 guy all along. And I guess we got the national anthem later, so we should be quiet out of respect.
Move our headgears, headsets. Hey, Christian, we've been so busy going over the lineups, and it was, all the guys are on the mat warming up, and I didn't really realize that Dayton Fix and Tony Ramos are standing right here on the mat, ready to scrap.
They're right here. It's happening. No more waiting. It's about go time. Dayton Fix, Tony Ramos going to get it started here at 57 kilograms. I don't know if we want to finish going through the matchups as we wait here.
Absolutely.
So we talked about 86, Perry and Rena, 92. Going to be Hayden Zillmer versus Deron Wynn. Zillmer made the U.S. Open finals. Both these guys, their loss at the Open was to Jaden Cox. Close losses, both of them, but Jaden definitely the class of that weight at this point. 97 kilograms was an upset run for Austin Schaefer. He went through Blaze Cabell, Kyvan Gadsden, and then Ty Walls to win the U.S. Open. But Gadsden, I tell you what, it's crazy to think that someone in 3-4 weeks can just like jump levels, but Gadsden looked absolutely fantastic. And given what we saw from him, I think he's probably the favorite here over Schaefer, who just beat him a couple weeks ago.
Without a doubt. And then at heavyweights, we got Adam Kuhn and Tony Nelson. Kuhn won the U.S. Open, an amazing heavyweight bracket at the U.S. Open, sat out. Tony Nelson went through Gable Stevenson yesterday.
And Jake Varner.
And Jake Varner before that. So a great run for Nelson. Puts him up against the monstrous Adam Kuhn, as we are just moments from getting this thing kicked off. Dayton Fix with the Gable wrap on his head.
Of course, Kuhn had that epic double up at the Open where he made the finals in Greco, lost to Robbie Smith, and then won the U.S. Open in freestyle. Incredible. Very skilled guy, Adam Kuhn. Going to be tough to circumvent, and he's got a. Even though Gwiz is a returning medalist, I think he's got a real shot against. I think Kuhn has a real shot against Gwiz if he can get to Final X through Tony